Hi there, and you've tuned into ET now, and this is the weekend edition of Your Trades with me, Cheryl D'Souza. It was a historic week for the markets, not just the fact that the benchmarks actually shut shop at record levels. We also saw one of India's oldest financial institute bid goodbye to the bourses post its merger with HDFC Bank. And yes, you guessed it right, I'm talking about HDFC Limited. And subsequently, you had LTI Mindtree that replaced HDFC on the Nifty, and your JSW Steel that replaced HDFC on Sensex, and various other bourses changes post HDFC bidding goodbye to the stock exchanges post its merger with HDFC Bank. But one sector that stood out in this week is definitely the IT index. What a comeback this index has made this week because of the earnings. You had TCS, HCL Tech, Wipro, all of them report their earnings in the week gone by. And you saw IT index actually break out of the losing streak and come back with a powerful comeback, especially on Friday, where it saw biggest intraday gain since September 2020. But what's actually making the headline, if you look in the week gone by, one is definitely the benchmark indices hit fresh record high levels. Both Nifty as well as Sensex and small cap index continue to outperform the benchmark indices as well. The rally in the week gone by was led by IT and the metal counters, while PSU banks, that one actually snapped a 2-week gaining streak in the week gone by. One of the reasons why the sentiment for the IT sector also was lifted is the fact that you saw an easing of in the US inflation. So that kind of aided the sentiments towards the IT sectors, and especially you need to watch out for the earnings season, because officially, we have now kick-started the earnings season. You have HCL Tech, TCS, Wipro, like I mentioned, report their earnings. So come next week, very, very earnings heavy week, and that's what we need to watch out for. But like I said, this week was definitely a historic one for the markets. We hit a fresh record high level, Sensex scaling the 66,000 mark. So that's what we watched out for the week gone by. But there are big questions lying for us in the week ahead. And one of the main and pertinent question is, are markets headed higher from these levels? Or are we expecting to see the markets take some breather, take a time off, given the fact that we will be well into the earnings season? The other question that everyone is asking right now, will this IT rally that we just saw kickstart continue going ahead? So is there more steam left for the IT index? Is everything priced in, all the bright news priced in for the IT sector? That's a key question that one needs to watch out for. And also, will it be a good start for the banking earnings is what everyone's eyeing out for, because you have Federal Bank report its earnings, Bandhan Bank as well. So now all eyes will be on the big companies or big banks that will be reporting their earnings. Shrishti?
Well, yes, absolutely. So those are the big questions that we're going to be looking at, and definitely apart from that, dollar index is now sitting at below 100 odd marks. So that is, we are seeing that metals are shining in the Indian markets, but going ahead, a rally expected out there, and will the IPO rush sustain? So these are the big questions we will be putting to our experts onto the show. And with this, let me welcome on board Rajesh Palviya with us, and who is the technical and derivative research at Axis Securities. Hi, very good afternoon, Rajesh, and thank you for your time on ET Now. Firstly, let's talk about the rally that we have seen in the week gone by, like hitting fresh record high day by day is now something that we are looking for every day. But on Friday itself, there has been a spectacular run-up, especially in that last 1 hour or so. How do you read this? And going ahead in the next week, do you expect 20,000? Is that the level that you're watching out for?
Good afternoon, Srishti. So it was a very good week for the market. Again, Nifty managed to give breakout above and close above for the week above 19,500 level. So it's a positive development in terms of Nifty setup. If you look at the overall setup for on the derivative front also, there is a clear long built up is there for Nifty. And in Bank Nifty, especially in last hour of trade, there was short covering action was there. So it clearly shows that, yes, this momentum is likely to continue further higher, as we are discussing week on week basis, and we are holding the bullish view, and we are very much sure that this rally can extend further higher towards 19,700, even 19,800 in the coming week itself. Yes, as you asked for the 20,000, yes, sooner or later, yes, that level is going to come for Nifty also. But yes, for next week, we are projecting target of 19,700 to 19,800 for Nifty, and positive bias would be there for the market. For Bank Nifty, there is a dozy kind of candlestick formation on the weekly chart. So next week is going to be very interesting for Bank Nifty, and we expect that if Bank Nifty manages to cross above 45,250 mark, then we can expect a big short covering action in the Bank Nifty, because most of the call writers are still taking their bets at 45,000, 45,200 strike. So if we able to cross those levels, then Bank Nifty can take a lead from here, and then possibly Bank Nifty can scale up to the level of 45,800 also. On the Nifty, most of the call writers have covered their position, significant unwinding on 19,500 as well as 19,600 calls. So it clearly shows that yes, the trend for Nifty is clearly showing that it's going to be move further higher. So both indices are looking very attractive. Buy or dip should be your strategy. For Nifty, our target is 19,750 to 19,800. For Bank Nifty, we will initiate a long trade above 45,000, and then our target would be around 45,600 to 45,800 for Bank Nifty.
All right, so clearly what Rajesh is expecting is some more scope of an upside coming for the Nifty. A very welcome aboard, Rahul, as well. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. That's Rahul Shah for you from Motilal Oswal Financial Services. And Rahul, let's talk about one sector that has been the most talked about sector after a while, and that definitely has to be the IT index. Look at the way how it's performed in the week gone by. Also on Friday alone, if you look at the way how IT index performed, biggest intraday gain since September 2020. Do you now believe that all the negatives are priced in and people are trying to give it a fresh look?
Hi, I think most important, I think three large cap numbers which have come in last 2 days in IT pack, I think in TCS, HCL Tech and Wipro. So all three of them as per street estimates, I think all three have given their numbers, nothing disappointment or surprises in the numbers. But I think way we look at it, I think the valuation looks quite cheap, and I think as we look at it, I think the maximum pain could be for one more quarter in IT companies, and I think that's what the street is looking at it, and I think we've seen the some kind of allocation in the ITs as a sector as a whole, and if we look at it in last one quarter post Q4 numbers, if we look at it, I think most of the IT companies, at least in the mid cap IT space, have shown a decent performance and that they have moved up vis-a-vis your large cap. So I think some kind of traction, I think what we've seen in post numbers, I think worst is behind us, what that is what looks like post the numbers, and I think as we were also expecting that I think your post Q2 the numbers should be better, and I think should be priced in for it. So I think risk versus reward quite favorable for IT companies, for at least for the large cap companies, and like the stocks like TCS 18 times earnings, which is trading at, and I think FY24. So I think similarly in case of HCL Tech, so I think this possibly quite favorable for IT companies. One should definitely look at it.
Large cap ITs is where the confidence is, and what a spectacular run we have seen in all these IT companies. Despite not a great set of earnings this time around, the investor interest has just kicked in. But Rahul, coming week we have the banking majors from the likes of HDFC Bank, IndusInd Bank coming out with their numbers, and other than that, a couple of names from the consumer space, HUL, Ultratech Cement will also be in focus. What's your take? And amongst the Nifty earnings, which is one amongst them that you will be looking out forward to and expect a good set of numbers?
So I think financials, I think we started with Federal Bank yesterday, and I think now we have to look at it how the large names will come out, like HDFC coming out with the numbers next week will be very key and important to look at it. I think the large bank will report in post their merger. So I think this is going to be a key thing for HDFC Bank, the numbers which will be reported next week. So I think that is what the street is looking at, how the things would be, how their call is for next whole year, and is it intact with what their forecast was, and most of the banks' forecast was there in Q4. earnings for post Q4 earnings. So I think that is going to be a key thing to be look at it. Secondly, I think as you mentioned, Ultratech also in a cement space, which has been a focus in entire week is again going to be an important thing to look at it. Thirdly, I think obviously metal space has been on fire in last 3-4 days. So I think JSW Steel, which has been hitting 52-week highs, I think again other things are going to be extremely look forward. And obviously, most importantly, consumer stocks, which have rallied quite a bit in this last 1 quarter. So I think that's again going to be an important thing to look at it. How the numbers have been as per guidance, or that would be better than what the street was estimating. So I think all these things will be a key to watch next week, how they report the numbers and what the management's guidance is. Be very key and critical for the markets to take a way from here.
Right. So that's what you should watch out for when it comes to earnings. But Rajesh, let me actually touch upon the IT index point with you as well. We had Rahul actually give his fundamental take on the IT space, where he thinks that things will start looking better for the IT sector going ahead. But according to you, Rajesh, are you also envisaging the same on the charts for the IT index? At least the near-term prospects looks bright. And do you think that you can still venture into these countries despite this week's run-up?
So definitely very strong comeback from the most of the IT stocks, and especially in this week we have seen index has gained almost 4.5% kind of rally in the current week. And looking at the most of the large cap stocks like TCS, Infosys, both have managed to give breakout on their near-term chart structure. Mid-cap IT stocks are showing one notch better than large cap IT stocks. So we expect this really can extend further as the safety of margins there, as market is hitting up. So everybody is looking for the bats in the market, like where the risk to reward is in favor. So the quality is there already there in most of the IT stocks. So large cap IT stocks, we expect that TCS can continue furthermore upside. And looking at the breakout in today's session, we are very much hopeful that TCS can extend this rally in coming week also, and then possibly 3600 is the next target which we are projecting for the TCS. And another stock from large cap IT, that is Infosys, is also looking very attractive. And the kind of breakout we have witnessed on the weekly as well as on the daily time frame, we expect that this really can extend towards 1500. And for mid-cap IT space, yes, some of the stocks like LTTS is looking very promising. The kind of breakout in today's session is clearly showing that this really can extend towards 4250, 4300, and emphasis is also looking attractive. So we expect this IT, large cap IT as well as mid cap IT, both can perform in the coming week, and this really can extend another 3 to 4% in the IT index itself.
That's a consensus buy from the fundamental and the technical expert on the IT space that has been buzzing. But for this year, it's time to slip into a short break. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back and take the discussion forward with our experts. Stay tuned.